The next step in tracking the Templar alignment across the Czech Republic was to drive to Vyškov and then north to point 1 Poděžice. The idea was to try to pick up the Templar line that we'd last seen on the other side of the restricted army area which the Templar alignment runs across. The problem is that two other 90 pace wide pairs of lines or alignments are converging in on the very same area, and we found one of them almost immediately at Poděžice. One of the lines passes through this church and the other one just a few meters away. Since that wasn't the Templar alignment, I felt like we needed to drive a bit further north, and so we went to Brodek, where we found this chateau. And sure enough, we found two additional 90 pace wide lines passing straight through the chateau, and another two 90 pace wide lines passing just south of it and obviously crossing in a node somewhere in that area behind the gate. The skies were very interesting, and there was a strange energy about the place as well. However, we wondered if one of these two alignments could in fact be the Templar line. And so, after carefully mapping both, one ran through this playground at the school, and trying to ascertain the directions that the lines were running in, we decided to track the line that passed through the chateau to the south. This took us down a rather muddy path or roadway where we found the line several more times and ascertained that it was in fact one of the other two alignments that was running into this area. It also allowed me to try out my new Suzuki Jimny off-road, which was a lot of fun and had a lot of traction in the mud and the snow and the cold air of the day. It was a beautiful day to be out, although of course it got dark pretty early and meant that we had only a short space of time to try to find the Templar line. So having ascertained that we'd now found two alignments, both of which were the ones south of the Templar, we needed to drive a bit further north, and so that's what we did. As we entered the town of Otaslavice, we were confronted with this tower on a hill, and immediately I had that feeling. I could feel that feeling that we get when we find the Templar alignment. It has some kind of a special quality to it that is inescapable once you experience it. And so we pulled up, and in the fading light of the day we excitedly explored the area. Eva had already discovered that in fact there were two castles here at one point, an upper and a lower castle, an old church, and on the other side of this valley was ancient settlements going back into the Paleolithic and supporting a town at multiple times in early history. So this was a site of archaeological interest and a site of strong energies. We found ourselves really standing in front of the tower, looking down into the valley and those lakes and experiencing the strong feminine energies of the Mokosh line. We found Perun a little bit further away. It seems that Mokosh ran through the lower castle and Perun ran through the higher castle, which is now just ruins. And it also turned out that these castles have a relationship through their owners, the family that owned them, with J.H. Jindřichův Hradec, which means that it kind of validated what we had discovered. The energies were very strange but very magnificent, and we really enjoyed just contemplating the energies in this location, and we really want to go back again. To me it felt like somehow it had a Christmas atmosphere, and as the light faded it was just so beautiful and so wonderful to be there, especially with those skies. We just could not pull ourselves away. But eventually we must, and we went over to explore the old church, which is dedicated to Saint Michael. We couldn't go in, it was locked, it was already dark, but the Perun line runs straight down the aisle of this church, and this is a quite ancient church as well, dating back to the 12th or 13th century. So we were quite pleased because even though we'd had a couple of false starts, we did in the end find the Templar alignment as we'd set out to do, and furthermore we had also found where the other two lines came in, and the result looks like this. We plainly need to go back to Otaslavice to do some more mapping, but I'm excited about what lies next because it looks like these three lines are heading towards some kind of mega convergence. We'll find out in the coming weeks and months. Thank you for watching, listening. If you've enjoyed it, please do subscribe to the channel, like and share, and help us get the word out. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.